Christopher Smith, League of Dads Talk Radio. You can check me out on blogtalkradio.com/the League of Dads Talk Radio. I broadcast weeknights between 6 and either 6 and 7:30 or 6 and 8. But broadcasting time always starts at 6 p.m. If in fact you got warrants out for your arrest for non-payment of child support, I can get you over to my sister company, League Legal, for $685. I, in fact, can get rid of that warrant. The League of Dads is a membership organization. Because I went to school for law, I help individuals understand law. A lot of individuals don't know there are simple things, there are simple words that you say or do not say is the reason why you get jacked up when you go to court for child support and custody. If your license is suspended due to non-payment of child support tickets and or fines, I can get you over to my sister company, League Legal, and for $685, I can get your license reinstated. This is not something I invented. It's called bankruptcy. If you don't want to give me $685, go get your closest phone book, find a bankruptcy attorney, and have it done through them. People, I want to talk about something that I was talking about for the longest, something that I was talking about back in 2010, when probably this video wasn't loaded on YouTube. But I want to talk about the fact that when you talk about what's going on in our black community, the biggest thing in the black community is not the white man killing the black man. It's black men battling black women. And Miss Shahrazad Ali wrote a book. And in that book, Miss Shahrazad Ali said that every human being on this earth has been criticized but the black woman. She said the white man has been criticized, the white woman has been criticized, the black man has been criticized. The white woman has not been criticized. Now, this was done back in 1990. This is 26 years ago. And through my teachings, through my radio, I have been on various forums. How am I feeling the same thing if she came up with something and wrote a book about it? And as you will hear, I'm going to play clips of the video. Geraldo claimed that it created a firestorm in the black community. So let's listen in.
Within the black community. And we have assembled a distinguished group to debate its premise and its message. Basically, that the black woman is responsible for most of what ails the black community. Now, before we get into what promises to be a passionate debate, I'd like to introduce you to Debbie Mitchell, the co-producer of this program. Debbie, I want to start, I know it's unusual, but I want to start with two questions to you, the producer of the program. First of all, what do you think about the basic premise of the book that the black woman is responsible for most of what ails the black community?
First of all, black men and black women know that the black community is under strain right now. And for Shahrazad, a black woman, to basically attack black women, I think that she's putting blame, it seems like she's putting blame on them for the state of the situation.
Are you frightened by this book? I mean, are people reading it?
Yeah, people are reading it. It's specifically the younger black males. I see a lot of them on the trains when I'm coming into work. Their heads are glued to the book, and it's scary.
Okay.
So it continues with the white man. The white man, Geraldo, asked the black woman, is she scared? This is what and why we are in the state that we're in now. The white man has told the black woman to liberate herself from the black man when we never had no power. So right now, if you listen to what Geraldo said, he said, I want to start with his producer. Someone that's not going to say nothing against Shahrazad Ali. Someone that's producing the show. So what do you think she's going to say? She thinks she's going to say something good, but she ends it with, it's scary. Let us continue.
Our program today will examine Shahrazad Ali's controversial solutions to these very severe social problems and try just as importantly to determine what black men really want from women. That is the focus of this edition of Geraldo. in recent history. And before we open our discussion up to debate, I want to begin, Shahrazad, just with you telling me why you wrote the book.
Well, I wrote it because of we are the missing link in our communities.
We, black women.
Is the only information the black man has not had. And we certainly represent the only group here in America who have never been examined for the root causes of our behavior. The white man has been examined, the white woman, and the black man, certainly. Now, first, let me say, Geraldo, that my position is that the black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the black man is a direct cause of the breakdown in our family structure. I am not saying, wait a minute.
Okay.
Because this says we know we'll go to hell in a minute. Let me.
That's right, that's right, sister. That's right, sister. Speak to him. Fucking badass sister. Speak to him.
Certainly the message has been misunderstood and sensationalized by the media, as we saw on the introduction of this show. What we have is a situation where we as black women have never been examined. We have never accepted our share of the responsibility for the condition of our black community. I am not saying that we are 100% responsible. I'm saying that the black man is 50% responsible and we are 50% responsible.
You know, I don't want this to be, if we lose half our time waiting for the applause to cease when someone makes a pro or con statement, we're going to use up half the show.
So what I'm saying
but let me just say that I read the book and I don't read it that way. I read the book, and I think that when you have, it is impossible to sensationalize a book that uses quotes like, the black woman is a rat who behaves like a dog while purring like a cat.
What is your nationality?
I'm Puerto Rican, as the world knows.
Okay, well, I didn't write it for the Puerto Rican man. I wrote it for the black man.
You see how she shut that down? A lot of y'all individuals need to take heed to what that woman just did. He said, I didn't take it that way, because he's trying to set a precedent. That situation right there is called a meat grinder situation. They put one woman that makes a book, and then they put tons of individuals to oppose what she's saying. So Geraldo, when you're invited to a forum like that, Geraldo saturated people around Miss Ali that's opposed to her book. And he's trying to set the tone. And then you see how she shut that down. She didn't take it in, when he said, I didn't take it that way. When he read those inserts of the book, she didn't say, well, I wrote that because blah, 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 stay on the defense. She shut it down. Well, what is your nationality? I'm Puerto Rican. Well, I didn't write it for you. Let's continue.
That's what I'm trying to demonstrate, that we have a very special man, and he has a set of very special needs, just like we have. We need to stop claiming that we are all the same. We're not all the same. We have the problems that come from the psychological trauma that we suffered in slavery that we have not revived from yet. And so we have to address that. And we can no longer pretend that it's the white man's fault or that it's your fault or anybody else's. I'm just saying, let's go into our homes and let's look at ourselves. The only civilizations where we have ever been successful, and the black man didn't have a problem supporting us, being in charge of our homes and raising our children until he was brought to this country and turned into a slave and he lost his position in our home.
Is it fair to say, Shahrazad, Ms. Ali, whichever you prefer, that you propose that the black man should be the superior figure in the family and the woman subordinate to the man?
He is. We have just devalued the importance of his presence in our home.
And you...
Now, if you listen to what he just asked, he asked a question that is solidified in every other race. But here's Geraldo basically getting to the meat and potatoes of what he think is important. Do you think that the man is the head? What he asked in simple terms is the man the head of the household and the woman should follow him. Where is that not how it's supposed to be in every other family? Let us continue.
Understand while stating that flies directly in the face of all the women's movement, black and white and red and brown and yellow, has accomplished in 2 decades.
We haven't, as black women, we talk about our political accomplishments, but politics means policy. And the only place we can implement any permanent policy is in our homes.
May I ask you a more pragmatic question? Debbie Mitchell, our co-producer, indicates that on the subway to work, she sees young black men with their heads in the book reading it. It appears as if your self-published book is being widely read. Do you have any idea of how many books are out there and being read?
Well, let's just say if it was a record, it would be platinum.
That's right, sister. She's a badass.
Our other guests, some of whom share Ms. Ali's points of view, others dramatically and profoundly disagree. Sitting next to her is Salathiel Luster. He is the vice president of a group called BOND. That stands for the Brotherhood Organization of the New Destiny. It is a support group for men who believe that problems in the black community do indeed stem from black women's superior role in the family. Ariola Sinclair is a writer for the New York Amsterdam News, the most important publication, I think it's fair to say, in the African-American community, at least in this town. She has written extensively about her own personal and the public's reaction to this book. She claims the book may serve to further alienate black women from black men. Claytel Benjamin is an award-winning journalist and a former history professor at the University of Massachusetts. He says that Ali's guide for black men is lacking in intellect and scholastic information. There are many, many others who join us in the front row. I'm going to save their introductions for a couple of minutes. Let me just ask Salathiel, if, sir, you believe that it is appropriate to enforce discipline in the black family for a black man to hit a black woman.
Okay. I believe, as everyone here, when a child, someone you love, is out of hand or in a state of hysteria, that you can use reprimandation, that you can spank the child to awaken them, not to put them to sleep. And that also, please let me finish my point, and also that it must be done in a state of non-anger. It must be done from a point of self-control. It must be done from observing that this is necessary for the well-being of the human being.
She doesn't say spanking, sir. She says smacking in the mouth very specifically.
Have you ever seen a person in hysteria? Have you ever seen a person that has in such a psychotic state that it takes a strike to bring them to reality? The pain is actually an awakening process.
Quote, if she ignores the authority and superiority of the black man, there is a penalty. When she crosses this line and becomes viciously insulting, it is time for the black man to soundly slap her in the mouth.
I need to respond.
Brother,
I got it.
She said, brother, I got it.
Now, I think we are all here because I have tried to deliver a message to my people to help us with this healing process. Certainly, it's a very sensitive issue and one that all of us are affected by. We cannot deny that the black man is beating us. He's killing us. He's murdering us. He's stabbing us. He's doing horrible things to us every day that we live. Domestic violence in the black community is at an all-time high. I'm trying to put some direction and restriction upon a situation. Now, initially, I thought that black women were opposing to that one sentence out of that 204-page book because they were actually outraged. But I think it's a smokescreen, brother, and I think that...
You heard what she just said. She said, out of a 204-page book, now each page have about, let's just say for the sake of argument, 10 sentences. She said they're taking that one sentences and grading the whole book. People, this is what black women want to do. This is what black women are used to. This is what black women want to, this is why when you talking to your woman, this is why when you get into a situation with your woman, this is why when you're trying to converse with your woman, she's locked on that one thing and it means nothing. That's why what Ms. Shahrazad Ali is saying right now, if you're not the leader of the situation, you leave that woman alone. The last woman I was dating, when I was in a relationship with her and I was trying to explain to her that talking to other motherfuckers in my face is disrespectful, she was then trying to tell me, oh no, when they come and talk to me, they just saying hi. You ain't supposed to be talking to a motherfucker in my face. Bitch, you disrespectful, you get the fuck on. That's what it gets down to. That's what it gets down to. And that's what you individuals need to start understanding. Let's continue.
Trying to make the sum total of the message in my book land on that one 5-minute text.
That's right. That's right.
Before we get to Abiola and Claytel, let me jump right to Dr. Napoleon Vaughn, who is a practicing psychologist who thinks that the ideas expressed in this book are not only inaccurate, but possibly dangerous. Now, we have heard Ms. Ali, Dr. Vaughn, say that this one statement is being taken out of context. You, I believe, sir, feel it might lead to increased violence in the family. Is that not correct?
I had a patient come to me not too long ago with book in tow, a 32-year-old virgin male who had just broken up with his wife And what he did was punch her out. This is how he thought that he should make love to her and that he should demand whatever she does. The other thing about this that disturbs me tremendously is the fact that of another patient of mine, a female, whose husband said to her, "You do what I tell you to do." And she decided, well, you're my husband, not my father. And she decided that she was going to go visit her mother. She took the baby in the carriage and started off to visit her mother. Before she knew it, she was falling down. She had taken the baby, so she continued to walk, and before she knew it again, he was on her with a brick in his hand against her head until...
So that's the end of that video. But you notice how they're comparing this book and saying that this book forces black men to act irrational. This book forces men to take a brick and beat their woman in the head. But what that man just said, a woman came to him and said, I am going to go stay with my mom. But when she said I was going to go stay with my mom, she took the kid. So if you're going to go stay with your mom, why are you taking the kid with you? That's just shit that women do. And it's amazing how Miss Shahrazad Ali is on that forum speaking, and she is showing pause. And let's be clear about something. When she's speaking, a woman shake her head like that, they cut the camera from him real quick. I got part 2 coming up, y'all.